and welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, Formula One News and Motorsport Update. That's right, it's our midweek show where I look at the headlines and go over everything that I think is most interesting in Formula One. Now, we've got some very special headlines because that's right, Formula One is starting just a week on Sunday with the Austrian Grand Prix. But before all of that, we've got this. Just have a little look as I share the screen here with me now. It's called We Race On. That's right, F1 has embraced diversity. Now, I'll read this to you exactly how it is written so that I don't get anything wrong. Now, Formula One has launched a new initiative to coincide with the return of racing next month that both acknowledges the worldwide fight against COVID-19 and encompasses the push for diversity. Known as We Race as One, the campaign is a thank you from F1 to key workers and everyone else who has had to endure the COVID-19. An F1 rainbow logo has been designed, incorporating the colours of all 10 teams. It will appear on the cars, as well as around the circuit and above the pit garages. A range of rainbow-branded products intended to raise funds for charity will be launched by F1 and the teams. Well, I'm sure they'll be worth something. At the same time, F1 is ramping up the commitment to diversity that it outlined last year when it launched its 2030 Zero Carbon Sustainability Programme. Now, I've got a question here. What on earth does carbon sustainability have anything to do with diversity? Don't know what that's all about. So the Austrian Grand Prix will thus see the start of a Racism Must End campaign with visual displays around the track. In addition, F1 is setting up a diversity and equality task force and will set out pledges underlining its targets. The initiatives support the wider purpose-driven movement launched by the FIA last week. The whole world has come together as one collective community in the fight against COVID-19, F1 said in a statement. Now, that seems to make an awful lot of sense, but I don't see where the rest of this diversity has anything to do with Formula One. And it has brought out the best in human nature. In recent weeks, people from all walks of life have united in their condemnation of racism and inequality, something that has no place in our modern world. We believe that as the first international sport to return, we can make a difference and use our voice to address these vital issues. And as a member of the global FIA Motorsport family, we acknowledge its fundamental principles statutes, including the fight against any form of discrimination. The initiatives will be the platform for the priorities set out above and is aimed at tackling the biggest issue facing our sport and global communities. And blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is about as interesting as that. Now, we all heard that, obviously Hamilton's putting lots of words out about all this kind of stuff, but ultimately, Formula One is a meritocracy and you have to get there because you're going to be really good and you've also got money behind you. So let's see what happens. We've got drivers from all over the world competing. It would be great to see drivers from different nationalities and, of course, different, races, if that's how you call it. I don't even know what you can say these days. But I just think this is not going to last. It's going to put more people off than anything else. So as for We Race as One, I don't think so. The second thing headline that I'm going to put up today is Formula One will sell squares on the checkered flag for charity. That's right. Here we go. Formula One has announced it will sell off squares of the checkered flag at races to the 2020 season to raise funds for charity. In support of F1's new Race On as One initiative announced earlier, it is to combat racism and inequality. Fans will have a unique opportunity to purchase spots on the checkered flag shown at the end of each race. The charity drive is set to raise over £11,000 per race, with 56 of the 80 squares on the checkered flag going up for sale. The remaining 24 squares will be made available to the race promoter to pass on to its fans and guests. Little question here. What has this initiative got anything to do with inequality? I mean, are they going to give people money to try and say, there you are, you've not got enough, so we're going to give you some more money, more opportunities? I mean, possibly, but I don't know. I just seem to think this is just nonsense. This is the kind of thing you'd expect from big government or from a kind of useless set of lots who have been told, right, this is your government job, now go and be annoying and get in the way of actually countries getting on. Because I really don't see how this is going to do anything for anyone at all. Now, fans can buy squares on the flag for the season opening Austrian Grand Prix on the 5th of July for just £199.99. And once the race is over, fans will receive their square framed and mounted, as well as the picture of the checkered flag and an authenticity hologram. Well, perhaps that will be nice for the fans, but to kind of encompass it in all this diversity stuff is just a complete and utter waste of time. Let's have a look at some of the other headlines that are coming in the news just now. Here we are. Now, F1 can learn from esports driver engagement, says Braun. Now, because the racing has been delayed for so long, many of Formula One's newest drivers and pretty much youngest drivers have been getting involved in esports, like Lando Norris, Alex Albon, and Nicholas Latifi. There's been quite a few, and of course some of the older drivers as well have given it all a go. And Charles Leclerc also has done that when he's not been testing his Ferrari around Modena, which was rather good fun if you've seen that. So they're trying to say, let's keep the way that the fans are following their drivers. Let's try and get some of that into Formula One. And speaking in the latest part of the Thinking Forward series of interviews, Ross Brawn spoke warmly of how the sport's younger generation of drivers had continued to engage with fans despite the lack of racing. It's been a lifeline in this period to keep fans engaged, and with so many people in lockdown, to be able to offer this is entertainment following it has been absolutely wonderful, Braun said in an interview at the FIA conference. The thing I've seen that is very striking to me is how, because the real drivers have become involved in these initiatives and these events, and how well they've been able to engage with the fans. And I think that's probably true to an extent. They have actually done quite well. There's certainly a fan base out there, but most of us who have watched the Formula One virtual races have been a little bit disappointed. I don't think they've been run as well as they could have been, but it is good that at least it is appealing to a particular fan base. And let's hope that when racing starts a week on Sunday, it will really be something great. I certainly think it's going to be a great year. I was going to say, who is your money on to see who's going to win the World Championship? I have a feeling that Sebastian Vettel might not be that far away from maybe grabbing a surprise championship. You just never know. I think Ferrari could have been sandbagging and they could come up with everything going. Same with Max Verstappen. He's starting in his home Grand Prix. If he gets 2 wins at Austria, that could really put him well in front. And as for Mercedes, well, they are going to be pretty strong and we'll see how they do. Now, remember, we've still got time. We're moving up in terms of subscribers, but if you would like to have that lovely wall tile on your wall, then you need to make sure you subscribe to the show and tell all your friends about the Car Sim and Race Driver show, and make sure they subscribe too. And once we've hit the 1,000 subscribers, we'll put all the names into a hat, and one lucky subscriber will be getting that wonderful wall tile of Manuel Fangio and Ayrton Senna will be delivered to their address anywhere in the world, and they can have it as a wonderful trophy of being a fan of the Car Sim and Race Driver show. Now, we'll be back on Thursday night with Andrew Marr and myself at 9 o'clock UK time for a live stream, and we'll be discussing all the latest F1 news, and I'm sure it's pretty much lots of banter and fun as well. So take care, and remember, drive fast and try not to crash. Bye just now.